Now we have to find where the story is. The story I'm going to tell you. We have to go back long time. Back to the time of my ancestors.
There are a million stories up there, and you need to work closely with the community in terms of what do they want. It began to really form when David showed me the Donald Thompson photograph of the 10 canoes on the swamp. He said, "We need 10 canoes." And I said, "What for? For the film?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "But we don't even know what it's going to be about. How can we need 10 canoes?" And he sort of went, "Bah!" Wandered off, came back half an hour later and put this photograph in front of me, and I looked at it and I went, "Yep, we need 10 canoes. This is great." Some of the very old people were alive when Thompson came. I remember him. He was the first contact with a white person that recognised that they had value. And his photographs, it's almost like it's their history. And so he's a terribly important figure for them. I got copies of some hundreds of photographs from the museum. I took them up there and people would constantly look at them. And then, there'd be, yeah, well, this one, we like this one. There were photos that inspired a particular way to play a scene. There were like a number of set shots that we were going to try and get exactly like that. That's where notions of black and white and colour came in, because I was contracted to deliver a colour film. But I thought, yes, but the Thompson photographs are in black and white, and apart from this wonderful sense of authenticity in the black and white, their expectations, in a sense, are almost that they're going to see Thompson photographs, in a way. And so, structurally, the way the film is, part of the reason for that is to allow us to go both black and white and colour and satisfy everybody. Their form of storytelling is quite different because there are no conjunctions in their language. And so structurally it's different. And it's like, it's based a lot on repetition and adding. And so, that man, you see that man. You see that man sitting on that rock. And that man sitting on that rock, and so it builds with more and more, a little bit more information.
Mingululu wants to know if Daindi has learned anything yet. Daindi say only thing he learned is Mingululu take long time to tell the story. Mingululu answers, a good story must have proper telling.
I much prefer low-budget filmmaking. 10 Canoes would never have been made unless it had been low budget. And it doesn't look low budget, it looks quite, substantial. But, you put 10 million on that, and you just never would get it financed. To make a film in Indigenous language, a language that, maybe 2,000 people can understand, forget it. And so you're creatively much more free. Almost the day we arrived, Jigger began to prove himself to be indispensable. He was passionate about the film getting made, absolutely passionate, that it was terribly important to him and to his mob that this film get done and get done properly.
So white men can see, or anyone can see, that we got that law.
He had a sort of a sense of cinema in a way, even though he couldn't really have had it. But he understood very quickly what we were doing. Casting, for example, there's no way I could have cast it because, again, it's that reality fiction business. In fiction, anybody can play any role. However, this had to reflect real life, and there's a complex kinship system. And so the kinship relationships of The characters had to be reflected in the kinship relationships of the cast in order for that to be allowed to be depicted on screen. And it was like, okay, Jigger, he would go to town and bring back somebody. They're the right one. He gradually took over a whole lot of functions that a director might have, and so he was certainly the co-director. Early on, well before we shot, one of the songmen wanted to record the Ganal Bingu song cycle because he was afraid it was going to be lost because none of the young people were learning it. Eventually we had a sound recordist come up. Off we went to the swamp. We didn't quite know what was going to come, but there's this long tradition, dating back thousands of years, and we're recording all of this, and it's very solemnly, this is the water lily song, and this is the crocodile song, and it's the magpie goose song, this is the Thompson song, and just seamlessly as part of this ancient song cycle, there's the Thompson song.